It's on! You know, this is the first time I've noticed in that intro video. That was quick. In that intro video, did that lady turn around and point at my son?
Oh, maybe.
I think we've had that discussion.
All right.
I keep accidentally throwing Figment up there. I don't mean to. Sorry.
When I walked through DCA the other day, I sure as heck did. It's on as I'm walking past that because the trolley bell went.
Yes, I would like to think at least one person out there has done that same thing just because of watching this show. Hey, I would like to think it, but they haven't. Yes.
Just so you know, you didn't go live.
I clicked go live. Apparently, it didn't work. All right. Thank you for noticing that now.
You're welcome.
Not a half hour from now.
Don't worry.
That would have been even better.
That would be why that kept happening, I think, with me and Figment.
We're going live. I'm not sure what happened the first time.
Okay, I'll pay attention to make sure it happens.
Yeah, let's make sure the red light goes. Like, okay, wait for it. Oh, do the two fingers.
Are we live?
No.
It still says scheduled in the corner.
Okay, so I'm clicking go live, and I'm clicking go live. Ready to go live. Go live. All right, we must be live because LPTV shows we're live.
That's funny.
Wow, that's an awkward.
Are we here?
Yes, I just got a message. We're live.
We're live.
How funny.
So were we live during that whole discussion of are we live?
I think we were live while we were out there in that whole discussion of are we live.
Well, we could have gotten a lot of trouble there.
But mine still okay. Well, this will be interesting because mine still says
it's showtime and there's no counter.
Mine says scheduled. Mike, what does yours say?
Scheduled.
Yes, I got another message that we were live during our live conversation.
Okay, but we are live. So despite the fact that shows we're not live, everyone remember we're live. Keep your preschool mouths on. Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Rebecca Mosley, the co-founder of Laughing Place, and with me, as always, over there is my husband Doobie. He's also a co-founder over here. Down there is our East Coast correspondent Jeremiah Good, and over there, Mike Celestino. He covers all things on the West Coast. Hey guys, how's it going?
Is Mike blurry to you guys too?
Yeah.
Mike is broadcasting from underwater. He's got it.
I think because I am uploading a video at the same time as I am live, my bandwidth is limited.
Should we call him Mariel?
I think we had a similar dynamic with Mac earlier today.
Oh, that was so weird. So we are live despite all indications to the contrary. Hello, Evil Queen, Nikki B, Dante. Thank you all for sticking with us through that awkward time. And really thank you for nothing inappropriate being said on here. I'm thinking we weren't. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the weekend. Oh, this is Disney Parks Talk Live for October 3rd, 2022. This is the show in which we talk about the week in Disney theme park news and what a week it's been. So it is live for a reason. If you would like to contribute, you out there in chat land, simply leave a message in the chat. We will do our best to answer your questions, discuss your topic. It doesn't have to be what we're talking about here. You can ask, I'm going to Disney World for the first time. Should I take any time to go to Gatorland? We'll have an answer for you. So feel free to use the chat for that. In the meantime, let's get started.
By the way, the answer is yes, but unfortunately right now they are part of that small part of Kissimmee that is really going through a flooded situation. So keep tabs on them. They've got a dynamic YouTube, they've got a dynamic Twitter, but keep tabs on them because they're going to really need you to rally around and support them. Because unlike most of the tourism corridor that came through this relatively, without a lot of maintenance required, Gatorland, man, they were showing footage over there, and they were pretty deep in water over there. So keep them as far as the Central Florida area in mind. But go ahead, Doobie, on to fun stuff.
I'll try to make a transition. All right. So Epcot's 40th was the big thing that happened this past week on October 1st. 1982, Epcot opened, and October 1st, 2022, it turned 40 years old, much like our CEO. So Jeremiah was lucky enough to be there. Our CEO was lucky enough to be there, but he's too busy CEOing to be on this stream. So we'll just stick with Jeremiah. Tell us about the experience.
So I was lucky enough to be part of the D23 Epcot 40th event. When I was asked my review of the D23 Epcot 40th event, it was kind of, it was there. So So I will talk mostly about the D23 part of it, which was we checked in, we got a lanyard, we got a $20 dining gift card. They did give us a free ticket to any Disney film for the remainder, one free ticket for any Disney film throughout the rest of this year. And then our ticket into the park, which was included in the price for the event, which was very nice for those of you that were flying out of, oh wait, nobody could get in. So it was a challenge. The event overall was fun. They had a nice continental breakfast, some photo ops, and then we had reserved seating for the Epcot moment, which you can see all of that on our YouTube. But
is the Epcot moment the thing at the gardens or the thing at the Spaceship Earth?
Thing at the gardens.
Okay.
That was the Mariachi Cobre performing their entire set. The ambassadors coming out and talking, the president of Epcot coming out and talking. Of course, they're the ambassadors. And then Voice of Liberty came out and did beautiful medley of some of the classic Epcot music. And I think this may have been When You Wish Upon a Star. At one point in the Epcot 40 logo in the back, Walt appeared in the Epcot construction. It was a really, really beautiful moment. Yes, sir.
Two questions. One, I know Josh D'Amaro was there. Did he speak at that event?
Nope. It was, Josh and Jeff Volley, the president of Walt Disney World, was there. But it was purely just the president of Epcot.
Did they also honor the CEO at the time Epcot opened, Card Walker?
They did not, sadly.
Okay.
There is not a Card Walker statue coming, but I'm going to start a petition for that.
I don't know that Card Walker needs a statue, but my friend posted this on Facebook, remembering I think it was Card Walker, Ron Miller, and Don Tatum, I believe, and just remembering these are the three people. Maybe not. No, those three. These are the three people in terms of Walt Disney Company leadership that made Epcot come to fruition. Walt Disney obviously died before Disney World opened. Roy Disney died 3 months after Disney World opened, and then the decade after that, in which Epcot actually came to be, as in a way, honoring Walt Disney, was all done by other people who are now long forgotten in the minds of most Disney fans, but do deserve some appreciation.
So, on the anniversary of the Epcot, I would like to go back to I think we actually have this on our YouTube channel. It was Marty Sklar talking at the first Epcot Fest of the Arts, and he went on to talk about why Epcot was made, and it was, in his words, it was made to shut up the fans, because when Walt did that whole Epcot, the presentation, and then passed away, the number one question that they were always getting is, when's Epcot coming? What's Epcot coming? And then they decided to open a second gate and call it Epcot Center. And that was pretty much in reaction to okay, if we build it, they will stop asking.
And giving in to the fans that one time has made the fans think they have power and not shut up ever since. This is why you never give in. All right. So you got to do them. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
Okay, on the more serious side, I just want to share. I stumbled on this. It was something that is in the book, in the front of a book called Abram. It's written by, let me try this again. It's in the front of a book called Walt Disney's Epcot. It's by the publishing house Abrams. And it's Marty Sklar was talking about how various dignitaries and different people came and spoke to the team as they were creating and developing Epcot. And then he summed up all of what they've said about Epcot and what they're telling the team about Epcot. And this is how he summed it up. And I just thought, wow, can you imagine opening a park with this is kind of what your leadership is telling you? And it says, if we build all this correctly, if we build it beautifully, if we set an example for the world, we can change the whole damn country. That's how important you are. That's how important I feel working with you. People will come from all over the world. They're already doing it at Disneyland and Disney World. And then there's some ellipses, and he finishes up. So what we're going to do in the next year and the next 5 years and the next 30 years is change our own country, only for the better. And after that, the world. It's a big project, but of all the groups in the world, while everyone else is busy talking, you're doing the stuff that's going to really count.
That's so beautiful. Marty has such a way with words. And
what a lofty goal.
Disney has lofty goals. It's a beautiful thing. Not so much anymore, which is fine. They're a huge corporation now, and it's hard to have goals now because the country is so divided. But 50 years ago, Disney had big goals, big plans, and it was a beautiful thing. And Epcot is kind of the culmination.
Tomorrow.
Epcot, in a way, is the culmination of that. So anyway, so Jeremiah, so you got to see the mariachi band for about 40 minutes, as Tony Betty put it, a 40-minute moment. And
the overall moment was 40 plus moments, and it was beautiful. The ambassadors came out and talked about thanking the community and the support that was given after Hurricane Ian, and that was, it was addressed and it moved on. It was perfect. Throughout the day, there wasn't a lot going on as far as the 40th, other than a lot of people in line for merchandise. And then in the evening, the Beacon of Magic was probably the highlight of the entire day. And
that Beacon of Magic was truly something special. You can see 2 different recordings of it on our YouTube, one at twilight and one in darkness.
I'm partial to the one at twilight.
And I mean, you can see the whole thing there, and it was beautiful. A medley of Epcot songs, some really cool visuals, a punctuation with Walt at the end that just sends everyone over the edge. But what was the atmosphere like actually in the park, the part we can't see in the video, Jeremiah?
Oh, especially the first one, because that was, everybody knew it was coming. We were out there probably an hour before, and just hearing the roar every time a song would come, because it's all, the original Epcot music, which everybody loves, and you'd hear people singing along. It truly was one of those moments where you look back and go, yeah, I'm glad I was there.
Those are great moments too, when you just remember, yeah, it was a bit of an effort. For you, it was a huge effort to get there since you were coming from California. But when you just look back at these times, I can think of like being at Disneyland's 40th anniversary, and that was an effort. Because of the crowds and stuff, but I was there, and I'm just happy I was there. So I'm glad Epcot didn't disappoint in that way. So I know they also had some special food and merchandise. Did you get to experience any of that or buy anything?
I did not. Did I have any of the food? No.
Wow, thank you.
I was thinking. I was like, no. For breakfast, I ended up with crepes, and for evening, I ended up with pasta at Coral Reef. So.
But most underrated restaurant at Disney.
I know the Figment cake sold out very early. I think we heard 10 o'clock in the morning.
That's what I heard.
The waffle, the people that did have it said it was really good, but it was sweeter than the normal waffle.
You mean adding pearl sugar around the edges?
Yes, and also the drizzle, I guess, was more. Yeah.
So when you dip sugar in sugar, it actually gets sweeter. Good to know.
Yeah. But no, it was overall the day was a lot of fun.
Tony?
I know, right?
I did the twilight. He did the evening one.
And did you buy any merchandise?
That is actually my Figment, and then I believe the next one may be my Magic Band.
I didn't pull up the Magic Band one.
So the lines, as with every Disney anniversary, anything, the line. People were saying it was up to 4 hours. It definitely wasn't 4 hours, but because nobody knew, I heard overall it was about an hour to an hour and a half throughout the day because of mobile checkout. But the only things that sold out there was a watch, which I don't even know what this watch. Oh no, that was the really nice face watch with the small Epcot logo on it. And then there was a coin, which I think we tweeted out the picture of. Yeah. It was beautiful. And again, the only thing that I went back and went, oh, I really want that. And then as we heard, yes, it was sold out. Yes. Thank you, Benji. Benji was the person who was not in a 3.5 hour long line.
I need to remember to do that because I'm sitting here going, oh, I hope that's still there when I get there. Oh, I hope that's still there when I get there. I have my own little personal shopper. Forgot to
You know why that's why we let him be CEO, so he'll shop for us.
Oh man, hey Mike, I know you used to go to Epcot as a youngin. Did you take a moment? I know you're on the opposite coast, but did you kind of take a moment or kind of any of this bring back memories for you?
Yeah, I was a big Epcot fan growing up, as I've said before. I lived in Florida for a couple years, and anytime if we ever headed over to Orlando for a day and I got to choose one park, I would always pick Epcot. Even though I feel like people seem to think that kids in the 80s thought Epcot was boring, but I loved it. It was definitely my favorite as a child. But yeah, I was pretty busy over the weekend, so I didn't get to see a lot of the 40th stuff. But what you've shown looks pretty cool.
That's right. We're going to be talking about that later this week. You were doing the Hasbro. You were in part doing Hasbro Pulse, right? That was part of your focus during the other stuff.
Do we have a mashup coming tomorrow? He's going to be on Barely?
No. Later this week. I know on Star Wars Headlines we'll probably touch on that a little bit. But
I also wanted to mention, if you want a feel of what it was like in Epcot on that day, I did a live stream with Tony Betty. Tony Betty was the man in the park.
2 hours.
Yeah, we did a long live stream. We walked the entire park. Betty, believe it or not, a wealth of information. I'm pretty sure about 90% of it's true. So I recommend you check that out. It's really, really fun. Jeremiah's my normal partner. Obviously, I love doing live streams with Jeremiah, but I had a really good time with Betty. It was something different. And I think you guys will enjoy it if you want to check that out. Epcot's 40th anniversary live stream right on this very YouTube channel.
I know when I jumped in, because Rebecca told me where you guys were, so I started heading that way. And then I started listening, and you guys were in Morocco. And I know that there was some, like, you guys couldn't figure out the name of Marrakesh.
Yes.
And the cover say, like, I was going to come in and tell you, no, that's been closed for now 3 years. And you said that just before I joined in.
And obviously Tony knew it. That was my fault forgetting that they didn't pay their bill and they had to close Marrakesh. So, and then Rebecca thought I said, what do you think I said? Spice what table?
No, I thought you kept throwing the word royal in there. Spice
Royal, yeah. No, I know what it's called.
Yeah.
All right. So that was anything else about Epcot's 40th we should know, Jeremiah?
As it turns out, most of the merchandise is still available. And on Shop Disney, they have some of the stuff. Sadly, a few items didn't make it to the park. I know that the crossbody, I guess, showed up today in the park.
Yes, it did. And it's enormous. It's like this big. I couldn't believe how big it was. It's so cute and it's big. It's Figment's head. It's plush. It's adorable.
The little statue of Spaceship Earth with Figment wasn't in there. There was a beautiful piece of art that our CEO now owns, the first piece that was copied off the original #1, and that was my kind of going, no, you should get it, no, you should get it, no, you should get it, and then he ended up getting it, and it was the first one sold and #1 number.
Yay!
I have a question for Mike. We were talking about this on the live stream, and I think Mike would be a great person to answer this. You can answer if you want to, Jeremiah, but we care more about Mike. Your favorite theme park original character?
As a kid, it was definitely Figment. Now it's probably somebody from Galaxy's Edge or the Galactic Star Cruiser, maybe even Gaia.
Oh, Gaia, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Yeah, Figment as a youngster for sure.
Figment's the old AP cop out, so I'm glad to hear you say Gaia. Although that takes a degree of hoity-toityness to be able to say that from firsthand experience. But
and I have one that's extinct and one that's still current.
Okay.
You want to guess either one of them, Doobie?
Figment.
No.
Okay, go ahead. No guess.
Skippy from Alien Encounter and Albert from Mystic Manor.
Is that the monkey's name?
Yes.
That is a very cute character. And that's on my bucket list of attractions. That's an attraction to me that looks like it's worth the trip alone just to experience Mystic Manor.
It was. It is definitely, and that is also on our YouTube channel.
It is. That's where I've seen it.
Figment sat on my desk all throughout college. I bought one of the little PVC Figments, and he sat on my. In fact, I'm pretty sure I still have him somewhere in a box in this house.
Sorry, you're married to her, Doobie. You can't get rid of her now. Sorry, it's too late.
But for me, when I think of kind of Disney original, like Disney Park original characters, Fuzzball, right? Isn't it Fuzzball? The name of it?
From Captain EO?
Yeah, the little
That's hilarious.
Flesh
That's
butterfly thing. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Juby, what's yours?
I don't really have one, but since you
Not even
mentioned
Big Al?
He quotes
definitely
Scooter
not.
more than anybody else.
Since you mentioned Captain EO, Hooter, yeah, Hooter is a great one. Hooter is a great one.
He quotes Hooter all the time.
I think
See
the
you later,
redhead's
trash
underrated.
cans.
Gotta have a disguise. That's what Jimmy always talks around.
Yeah, Hooter might be my favorite. Would love to see you guys in the chat give your input, your favorite theme park original character. We got one from Benji Langyap. I was going to say that.
Stop.
I was going to say that.
You're so bad. That is a mime from New Orleans Square Disneyland. That's why Jimmy's being silly with the. I'm going to say that for those of you who aren't Disneyland nerds. Maybe some of the America Sings characters I wouldn't have minded having like my cats of them over the years to have put on a desk.
Country Bears is always a good one.
Yeah.
No matter what. But
I think my son is a big fan of was it Terrence the Shaker?
Yes,
Mhm.
Shaker.
Yeah, there was a period in time where his goal in life was to be Terrence the Shaker. He would just walk around doing his spiel the whole time. So there's so many good ones. Yeah, I think of Figment automatically, but when you think of ones that aren't quite that grand, yeah, all of the Tiki Birds. Wow, Splash Mountain.
Hatbox Ghost is a good one.
Hatbox Ghost. That's awesome. Both of you. Yep. There you go.
Yeah, even the Ghost Host is a great one, even though you never actually see him. He's a great character.
Oh.
Harold is a great. The chocolate chip cookie in Space Mountain.
Yeah, totally. Things that you would note that like would definitely impact your ride experience if they aren't there for some reason.
The one I said during the one I said during the stream, and I wasn't being facetious. I mean, it's not my favorite, but in terms of impact the ride, the guy holding the newspaper in Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
Oh, the little newsie.
That's an important character. You need that guy. Okay. And now the lady with the boots in the computer room. I mean, she's key.
By the way, this is what I'm hoping still there when I get there.
Are you going to buy the 11 other pins?
No, I just want the banner. I don't care about the pin.
Or Benji was our CEO was talking to a guest wondering about the 12 pins, wanting to know why there aren't 12 pins.
I think from now on we should never call him Benji again. He is simply our CEO, kind of like dear leader. Rosie O'Donnell. Does Tony actually write for us? This is why we have.
What is that?
I feel like this is like voice to text.
I hope so.
No. With him, it's got to be some joke.
Well, because she hosts the bakery tour.
Oh,
so it could be a fun name because she hosts the bakery tour.
That would be really clever. Do you think he did that on purpose?
Yes, he did. It's not really clever.
Speaking of DCA, there's been a lot happening over at the Disneyland Resort. The Disneyland Hotel has changed its color scheme. It's looking a little bit more like those beautiful blue skies. I know Jeremiah's seen this. Mike, have you had a chance to see it yet?
No, I have not. This wasn't me.
I wasn't
we were walking up, and somebody had sent me a picture a couple of weeks ago of the start of the blue, but the parking structure is all blue. It's very retro. Looks amazing. And there's one of the photos where the Bonita Tower, you can see the difference between the blue and the old color.
Oh, hang on.
I believe there is no such thing as a Bonita Tower.
That's the.
This is Fantasy, the other one. But hang on, I will look. You work on that.
Frontier.
No, the Bonita Tower. And to show that construction, it can do everything very quickly. That photo you just showed, Rebecca, of Mickey and Minnie wrapped in the plastic and then painting the ceiling. By the time we walked back out, probably 6 hours later, guests were walking that entire area taking pictures with Mickey and Minnie.
Oh, really? It's amazing how quickly this kind of stuff is able to be transformed.
More than meets the eye. Cool. And they're doing construction on a brand new DVC tower there that opens when?
2023.
This could be a busy year next year.
Yeah, that tower is huge. Like I saw it when they first started earlier this year, and I was like, okay, it's not going to be too much. And then walking up to it, it is good to go.
I love the concept art for it. I hope it turns out that nice. It looks very elegant. The Disneyland Hotel in general is kind of whimsical. That new tower looks very elegant. And I obviously, as you can tell by looking at me, I'm a fan of elegance. Kidder is stayed at the Disneyland Hotel in 2018. We stayed there in 2022, and it was a incredible experience.
I have a question. I have stayed there. Yeah, it's really cool. I enjoy that quite a bit. I didn't know about the headboard light show thing until very recently. Actually, Benji showed me that when we were there for the Halloween media event. Just had no clue. Yeah.
Wow.
I have a question though about Benji's story in the comments, because he said he found the construction because he followed A-frames toward a special event. Did he just think he would find an event that he happened to be invited to, like stumble across?
No, we're walking from the Pixar parking lot, and as we're heading towards downtown Disney, we see a special event sign. So, it's our CEO, so he focuses on that.
Okay.
And we started following the signs, and we walked through the valet parking lot, and some of the valet cast members like, "Can we ask where you guys came from?" Like, we were walking that way, like, oh. So we walked through, and they had this huge tent set up in the valet parking lot, and it was like a party area. And then we continued, and it was a Siemens event in the ballroom.
Speaking of Spaceship Earth.
Yes.
Was there a part of you that wanted to say when a mommy and daddy love each other very, very much?
No.
Where did you come from? I got you.
You said, can we ask where you guys came from? Okay.
No.
Yeah, it took a moment.
Jeremiah's a little slow today. All right. Anything else with the Disneyland Resort that you got? Oh, good job, Rebecca. Look at that.
No, almost. Hang on. Got to make it big.
These are pretty new. I mean, they've only been there, I think, 2 decades, 3 decades.
They're really cool. Really cool.
They are. It is definitely one of my favorite effects.
Anything else you noticed while you were out there, Jeremiah or Mike, on any of your recent trips?
Well, I have a thing about the Disneyland Resort. Jeremiah, you want to go first?
My only take was it was horribly busy on a random Wednesday, and then we realized it's because there was a party night over at DCA, so everybody was in Disneyland, and the line for Pirates was over the bridge, wrapping back and around. It was
wow.
We did go on a submarine voyage, which our CEO hadn't been on yet, and it was beautiful as always.
I love that attraction.
Disneyland is a crowded place. I've been looking at average wait times a lot lately for one reason or another, and Disneylands are really, really high. And then Mike, you had a Disneyland Resort story?
Yeah, so I just uploaded a video. It just went live like a couple minutes ago. It's an interview that I did with a Disneyland representative like a month ago, actually, about Halloween time this year. It's a good overview of all the Halloween time stuff at the Disneyland Resort, but it's also a chance to see or hear our CEO school a Disneyland Resort representative about Disney Parks trivia.
Oh, no.
So you should check it out after the stream is over.
Well,
if you or I did that, we'd get in trouble for not treating Disney nice enough. But with anything.
That's always a delight. One of the things that you do is watch how long it takes our CEO to chime in when somebody has misspoken regarding any kind of Disney trivia.
Well, I invited him to answer the question, so he helped out.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so he was being helpful. That's cool.
Helpful.
I'm gonna go behind the scenes and change his name to our CEO, so every article he has on the site just becomes by our CEO. Over at the Caribbean Beach, they put out a little note today letting everyone know that they've got some refurbishments going on starting today in the Trinidad building. They're going to be adding some characters from under the sea, I believe they said, giving some hints as to what's going to be happening. And
do you think that means Little Mermaid only, or do you think that means like they'll be Little Mermaid, but hey, you never know who else you might see?
Mr. Olympic.
Nemo could easily be there. Obviously, he's under the sea. Yeah, Mr. Limpet, other submarine voyage, maybe mermaids. So, oh, that's back to Ariel. And the biggest reason they want to let people know, I think, is because there will be construction to be seen and potentially heard. So if you are booked at Caribbean Beach over the next couple of months, just keep that in mind. Maybe look at a map, see how far away. Well, you don't get to choose your building. So just look at a map, be aware of where Trinidad is, and be aware of that possibility. What's next, Rebecca? I think we got some Moana construction over at Epcot. That seems fun.
Sure. Hang on. I'm having trouble pulling up the picture.
Okay.
Journey of Water inspired by Moana.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for that correction, Jeremiah, and tell us all about it.
Journey of Water inspired by Moana construction. This was, I believe, Mr. Betty took these, and the building, I hadn't been over to that area. I don't know what just happened. Ooh, M&Ms. I hadn't been over to that side in a little while. The buildings and the structures are massive. So, yes, I think our conversation a few weeks ago about Tafiti and her size, I think, could be much larger than I was expecting.
What are you thinking? Maybe 20 feet tall?
I don't think 20 feet. I would definitely say over 10.
What are we talking? We're talking about Tafiti?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was described as 16 when she in all the discussions at D23. I think 16 was the total I heard on her anticipated height.
That's the number I remember.
So yeah, so like what? Yeah, that's pretty. It's gonna be nice and tall, and you're beginning to see some of that construction poke out beyond the in height, kind of over those construction wall scrim things. So that'll be fun to watch develop now. So I'm sure monorails will give you a fun view too, as all that begins to really take shape.
Next week we'll get an update from monorail photos.
Now, Mike, I know you're a Star Wars guy, not a Marvel guy, but I'm going to ask you anyway. If Tafiti and She-Hulk battled, who do you think would win?
Tafiti is much larger, isn't she?
Well, 16 feet, according to... All right.
Okay.
The real Tafiti, you think? But She-Hulk
is strong.
Yeah. So
Tafiti is an island that helps create the other islands of the...
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
All right. So obviously you're going with Tafiti.
Yeah, it's just like an elemental.
I mean, could we, like, I would see more She-Hulk versus Maui. Those two, I think, could be a good...
Comparable, yeah.
Okay. Thank you,
Or
Jeremiah.
a more fair fight.
I mean, we could throw in the bellman also. Or, I'm sorry, the postman.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Doorman, whatever your favorite
character.
Doorman.
Oh, now I'm with you. Okay, Doorman. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the guy who started in Waterworld. I can't think of his name right now.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner, when you said the postman.
I know, so did I. I love that song. And he could be in Moana.
Javier's bringing up the Spaceship Earth and all the talk that had been about the renovation. Have we heard any further? Were there any kind of hints or any further discussion of any of that during this celebration?
No, that hasn't been addressed at all. It was pretty much shelved due to the pandemic. So I think with some of the other projects, we may have to wait until Destination D, maybe next November, if we start to hear new things. So
that's right. I keep forgetting about Destination D being around the corner.
Save all the big announcements for Destination D.
What else you got going on, Mr. Doobie?
Let's see. Sorry. Yeah, I've got it here. We've got there's a sign gone. Apparently, Future World is not what it's called anymore.
No,
you're never gonna get this right either.
Oh no.
No, it's always entertaining. I heard Tony playing this game with him as the walk and talk of what's the correct name or what's the correct location. Yes, that used to say exit to Future World. Now it says exit to World Nature because that and the land is part of World Nature and soon to be Journey of Water inspired by Moana.
Looking forward to that.
By the way, I'm pretty sure that World Nature is actually one of the palette colors with this new Ultra. Tomorrow on Barely Necessities, you'll learn more about it. It's a Disney Parks collection of makeup. and legitimately each has 4 different palettes that it's unveiled, and they're to the theme parks, and they have colors like zebra domes when you're, for the Animal Kingdom one, and there's one that's called Muppet Vision, and I'm pretty sure that World Nature was one of them that I saw, but I'll have to, you have to tune in tomorrow when I have all my notes for that show.
And Tony Betty points out that they mentioned the Walt statue, the Playpavilions on the map, and I think they mentioned Cosmic Rewind in passing. Is that correct, Jeremiah?
At
the mariachi event?
Yes, they yes, there was definitely jokes and references to writing that. No, Javier, there is no information at all about Mary Poppins. We're guessing that is scrapped because that disappeared very early on in the Epcot experience.
Which is okay. We were walking through UK yesterday. Such a beautiful area back there. That's one area I don't mind at all not having any attractions.
I wouldn't mind if they expanded to put in like a real hedge maze in there.
I would agree with that. That would be cool. Do you think the Rhine River attraction will ever come to Germany?
I don't think so, especially since that building has been multi-purpose for rehearsal space and offices.
What a shame. That would have been.
By the way, here's a little sneak peek. See, it's a palette, and it's in the spaceship Earth shape, and you've got this palette of eyeshadows and lip glosses, and yeah, its name's like World Discovery, Harmonious, World Nature, Test Track.
Oh, I bet they're hating that Harmonious reference.
Showcase. Club Cool. So I just love the idea of some ladies sitting around, and she's like, "Oh, I love your eye color. What is it?" She's like, "Living with the land."
Right, it sounded cool right up until that moment.
It just cracks me up. I'm sorry.
That is cool, though.
I love about that tomorrow with Becca.
We have an Ulta right across the street. I may have to go check that out from where I am right now. All right. Run Disney is having a Castaway. What exactly is this Run Disney event, Jeremiah?
Wait, there's a Run Disney Castaway.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a run that they do right after. If you've booked
okay.
marathon, and then you're going to Castaway Cay after the marathon and you participate in the race there, they have a unique medal that they offer for those who have kind of booked that dynamic. And the medal is a playing off this whole kind of Mouser size 80s era.
Oh, it's a CD
dynamic. And so and it spins.
That's cool.
By the way, I have nothing but respect for everybody that does Run Disney, but you're crazy. You're taking the cruise. I know you want the medal, but really, just relax on the cruise. You ran like 15. What's the total of the Dopey Challenge? Is it like 21 miles or something?
I believe it's well over that since the marathon is 26 miles.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. I can't remember, but yeah, no, it's a lot.
Marathon, half marathon would be 39, and then throw in 10 and 5K. We're up to 40.
And then you throw in another 5K on Castaway.
Yep, so there you go.
Which is, by that time, that's like nothing. That's just a morning stretch. You probably could do it backwards.
And if you are planning a trip and at the Walt Disney World Resort and you've got your hotel and everything ready, be sure to look because there are unique Magic Band designs to Walt Disney World Resort guests. Are we finding out about these through an app if you have these reservations? Is that how that happens?
It's on when you book and you can pre-order. These are regular Magic Bands, not Magic Band Plus, so they don't have the light up features, but they do have the very unique sliders. Yes, I threw that in there for you, Doobie. So those are lots of fun. I saw those and I kind of tasked our team with grabbing the photos for those because they look really cool.
They do. I'm a big fan of those.
They seem to be pulled off the imagery that you would have seen kind of in that opening day map, the maps from that opening day era. The artwork to me looks similar to that we've seen on the Vault Collection merchandise. And yes, DuckTales, we do know that is coming to World Showcase as had been announced many moons ago.
And the Dopey Challenge, the ship you will be on, if you do that, will be the Disney Wish, the brand new, beautiful Disney Wish. Mike Celestino.
It's a bad angle of him.
Poor duck.
That is
Poor duck.
That is as grumpy looking as you, Mike.
What's his name? I can't remember.
This is Flintheart Glomgold.
Thank you.
No wonder
Not your alter ego. The way you said that was like very personalized.
He is very angry, which I like about him.
So, Mike, I know in addition to Disney, you cover other SoCal theme parks for us. What you been up to lately?
I went to Knott's Spooky Farm on Friday, which is the kind of family-friendly daytime alternative to Knott's Scary Farm at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California.
Wait, what?
And it is a lot of fun. And they have some fun shows that are suitable for the whole family. They have yes, go ahead, Jeremiah.
Do I have to have a chaperone of a child under 16 to go with me to Knott's Spooky Farm?
It depends what day you go, I think.
Is it 1 or 5 that I have to have with me? Because isn't that just the reverse of after 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, a lot of nice decorations, some fun shows. They have a couple ride overlays. The Calico Mine Train becomes the Calico Candy Mine Train, and the Grand Sierra Railroad is called A Trip to Camp Spooky, starring Snoopy and the Peanuts gang. And then also the Timber Mountain Log Ride is the Timber Mountain Halloween Hootenanny. So yeah, and then there's in the livery you can meet a bunch of creepy critters. They painted the horse like a skeleton horse.
Yeah, I was like worried about that horse for a moment.
No, this is like the most amazing thing to me.
I thought he got into the donut.
Is it skull like coming out through the skin?
Yeah, it's meant to be like a little skeleton horse. I just was like, this is awesome.
Did he volunteer for this, or is...
I would hope it's horse safe paint or whatever they're using.
Not glue.
All the other horses are looking at him and laughing.
Tony asked if you get candy. So if you're going to Spooky Farm and you're a child, you do get a trick-or-treat bag as you enter the park. And then around the park, there are trick-or-treat kiosks where you can get candy. Yes, and there's Snoopy dressed in his Halloween costume, sort of a vampire or Zorro type thing.
I'm going to have to go to Knott's Scary Farm during the day.
And they also seem to have some... fun food dishes.
Ooh, is that did the pin and the shirt come together?
It's not a combo this year. It was just a t-shirt for $19.99 or something. I do like the design on the shirt. And then they have plushes of the characters in their Halloween costumes. Lots of special food. Yeah.
I need that Charlie Brown.
My mom came with me. It was
more
fun.
excited about this event than
like
scared.
fun.
Your mom came with you?
Yeah, my mom's in town, so she came with Tori and I. Yeah.
I don't see any pictures of that on the site.
Did she try the tasty goodies that you don't try?
Yeah, Tori and my mom shared the food that they gave us. So we got some kind of macaroni and cheese. There was a specialty burger.
Was that a fly on that bun?
No, it's just burned a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's a little piece of toasted cheese that landed.
And there's tater tots with some kind of cheese sauce.
Yes, they have Philly cheese
rat on that
tots. They have
That's
gooey macaroni
bacon,
and cheese
I think.
with steak bites.
Steak bites.
Yeah, so lots of tasty treats. So there you go.
Nope, nobody cares. You're on your own, Tony.
Oh, so Kidders said that they wish Marcy was at Knott's Berry Farm, and Marcy is, in fact, at Knott's Berry Farm. They introduced her for the first time ever at Peanut Celebration this year. They made a big deal out of her being there as a costume character for the first. There's my mom.
Oh, hi, Mike, Mom.
Oh, she's watching on her phone.
Oh, I'm so glad she popped in.
Can we get her on the air? I want to know if she's proud of you and your work.
Mom, come back.
Oh no.
Hey, I had to do this with my mom on DTL.
She left.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is she British? I picture her like opening a mouth and a British accent coming out.
No, she's from New York.
Oh, way different.
Look at this guy. Doobie.
Oh, this was great. This is one of my favorite parts. So there's all these actors who are regulars at this thing called Ghost Town Alive that Knott's does over the summer. And I like when Knott's like keeps them employed during different seasons of the year. Like this season for Halloween time for Knott's Spooky Farm, some of these Ghost Town Alive actors are just playing like spooky characters around Ghost Town. And there was an Undertaker guy. There was a lady who had like a creepy doll. And just a few different, like an old lady, another old, like a grandma spooky.
He looks like a statue. That's actually a human being, and he moves. Yeah.
That's okay. Doobie wants to know if you're proud of me and the work that I did.
Oh my God, so proud! I'm so proud of him.
Aw, thank you.
And Doobie, you look great.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mom.
I said thank you.
I want to know if during Knott's Merry Farm, the Undertaker's going to be there with the same thing, but with like a mistletoe over his hat or something.
Well, they did for a couple years ago when they had the I forget what it was called, but it was during the pandemic when you couldn't go inside any of the buildings or do any of the attractions. They had a Christmas Carol characters just like wandering around Ghost Town, which was fantastic also.
It wasn't a taste of, was it that what everybody
I think it was a taste of Knott's Merry Farm or something. Yeah.
I can't wait for that whole era to just be a distant memory that never enters our mind again.
Right? No, but this guy, the look on this guy's face, I don't know if you can really make it out. I'm gonna try and zoom in, but my thing's gonna like fight with me over it. But yeah, I can't do it. That picture won't zoom for me.
But the background zooms
right?
in.
That's exactly what happens. The background zooms in. But,
hold on, let me put that in tech issues.
Please go look at Mike's coverage. He did several videos. There's an article with lots of photos. You can really get a feel for what this unique offering is over at Knott's Berry Farm during this season of the year. So really, really cool.
Yeah, a lot of videos up. Thanks a lot, Mike. Have you been anyplace else lately with SeaWorld since our last talk?
What did I do at SeaWorld? SeaWorld announced a new roller coaster. My mom came with me to that too. She was at the press conference with me because I had a +1. It was very fun to have her there. But they announced a new roller coaster. It's called Arctic Rescue. It's a family-friendly roller coaster. Yeah, there's like a little medical plus on there. And it's themed to a snowmobile. And it's not very extreme. There's not a lot of big drops or anything, but I think it's supposed to be like a kind of a family coaster. It's coming next year. They've already started building it. I've got an interview video that I did on our YouTube channel. And just more information on laughingplace.com.
I really like that they took out the simulator that nobody has ridden in a decade and putting that all in there. So I'm wondering if that's going to be what they were going to announce at SeaWorld here. Whatever Ian had something to say about that. We're getting the same coaster over, but I don't think it's close enough to our Arctic.
So this is replacing Wild Arctic at SeaWorld?
No, Wild Arctic, the animal enclosures are staying there, but the roller coaster starts in that building. It's a launch coaster, so the boarding station is in that building where the simulator used to be. They actually showed us that part of the track that's being installed in that building where the physical simulators right there. You can see the bottom, that triangular shape is where one of the simulators used to sit on that ground right there. They're putting the launch section right there of the track is being installed.
Cool. And
you happen to know the name of the company that's doing the construction on this?
I was going to do a joke.
How
You've
exciting.
been doing this far too long.
Oh, that's awesome. And once again, Mike has provided plenty of photos. There's video right here on Laughing Place, so be sure to check that out either on the site, laughingplace.com, or you can look for his videos here on our YouTube channel. Mr. Doobie, are we beginning to get near the end of our little discussion here?
Oh, my goodness. I didn't notice that. Thank you, Gideon.
Oh, you didn't notice that? That was the first thing I saw.
The doors. Can you imagine people? That's where they walked in. That is so cool. And then the drop where that's a long drop. That's a scary attraction.
Have you ever seen the Star Tours building?
I have. And this looks, there are the other doors right there for the one next to it. Yeah. One of my dreams is to be able to watch Star Tours, from the outside, but from the inside and actually see it. But so far I've not had that opportunity.
Would you ride it? Would you ride like on top of it?
One of my friends used to surf. She worked there and she would surf in the cars.
That seems fun, but on top, no.
especially since it does.
Or just hang off the bottom and try to.
I've seen the simulator go, and you would not be holding on to that.
Okay, I would, however, love to see them offer an experience that was like scaled down, like to where the Star Speeder was like surfboard size, and then you would try like a bucking bronco. You would try and ride this,
or like a bantha.
Oh, Imagineer Mike coming in. Yeah. That is
Let me see if I can get a picture of the Star.
But that is something. I mean, there are plenty of videos on YouTube of what Star Tours, what that vehicle looks like from the outside. It moves a lot. Do not think, wow, they really make it seem like you're moving. They do that because you're moving a lot.
Really?
You've got some serious motion in it. Yeah. We do not recommend riding Star Tours on the outside or hanging off the bottom. Unless you're Mike Celestino and his mom gives permission.
Give me a heads up before you wrap up, because I have a few pictures I want to show before we sign off.
Okay. I know Jerm is looking for something, so go ahead and show your pics.
Okay. Hey, if you're on vacation and having a good time, we love to see your images. Our pal Gio is over at Walt Disney World. That's probably why he's not here in the chat. And he's been sharing some of the images. This is him and his mom. They got primo experience on Splash Mountain. He was saying, even though I had a 90-minute wait when they cashed in their lightning lane, they got to have their own log. I can see can you see he's holding up his camera? So I know Gio has a YouTube channel, so I'm looking forward to that ride through. And then he is doing it right, man. He is over at Steakhouse 71. This is dessert. That looks so tasty. Oh man. So there you go.
He closed out Epcot on the birthday and opened up Animal Kingdom on that Sunday. This man knows how to do a theme park.
I sadly have only run into him like twice on this trip, but both times him and his mom know how to vacation. I lived through them in some of their photos.
For sure.
And he made sure they got there on time.
Yep, they did it. They did it.
Jeremiah, you find what you're looking for?
I'm sending it to Rebecca right now.
Oh, hi, Rebecca.
Send it to Doobie.
Send it to
Doobie.
I'm looking.
I have run. I have crawled. Tony points out there's a similar thing called mechanical bulls. That is true, Tony. Yes. Have you ever ridden one, Tony?
I'm working on it.
Okay, I sent it to both of you. So I was lucky enough when I was a cast member to see the Star Tours vehicle. This was Star Tours 1.0, and they did not restrict us from recording or from photo taking. And this is when you're climbing, pretty much when you're jumping to light speed, and the back corner is almost touching the floor, and you're, I would say, like a 75-degree angle.
That is amazingly cool.
Yeah. This is, you failed geometry, but it is quite an angle.
No,
wow, Judy's harsh.
90, 80, 75.
Don't even worry about it.
20.
Don't even. It's cool. Thank you.
It is so cool. It is so cool. DLR comms equipment.
Just needs to learn how to say thank you and move on.
Thank you and move on. So, anything else anybody wanted to mention?
We should probably warn people that there'll be a little bit of a break, or am I wrong?
I don't think there'll be a break per se. There might be. I don't know. That's not up to us. But we won't be here. You and I will be.
That's what I meant. You and me.
Yeah, you and me. Wait, you said you and me.
There's going to be a break. Yeah.
Like if you and I are not going to be here for the next one show. You and I are going to miss next week.
Yep.
Parks Talk can go on without us. Disney Trivia Live will not go on without us, so that's going to miss quite a few episodes. But we'll be back in 2 weeks.
But I'll be back in about 2 weeks. I'm taking a vacation finally, so I'm excited. I'm heading off to Walt Disney World. Going to see the parks. Going to see my family. Getting a lot of fun and family in. So I will be back in a few weeks.
But you will be here for. There won't be a break for Park Talk, of course not. But you will be here tomorrow for Barely Necessities.
I will be here for Barely Necessities. Yeah, I'll be here through the remainder of this week. Oh, Doobie just froze.
I was like really thinking he froze because
which is weird because I seriously
All right,
don't
I'm
know
back.
how we're
All right.
okay.
Back. Who's the Boss Live later this week as well. Rebecca.
I'm back for Who's the Boss Live later this week.
I would like to tell all of you out there, if you have some time on your hands, you can just help us out. Help out a poor little website.
No, don't even. Don't. We'd like your input on something.
We'd like your input on something. So we're working on something new.
The SSP.
Tentatively called LPTV, up and heretofore called the Super Secret Project, but now we are transforming it to calling it LPTV. So you can get to it at laughingplace.com/TV, laughingplace.com/TV. It's a fun little project. If you go there now, it's going to be a little redundant because it's just showing this show. But go there and, as soon as this is over, and just check it out. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know any suggestions. Our goal here is to create a 24/7 channel dedicated to Disney and only Disney. And we'd love your feedback on exactly what that turns out to be. Yeah, I was able to figure that out. We love your feedback on exactly what that turns out to be. So we've got it up there as a soft opening, laughingplace.com/TV. Check it out. You can email us your feedback at doobie@laughingplace.com, lptv@laughingplace.com. Put it in the chat over there. We'll get it. Anything you put before the laughingplace.com, we'll get it. Don't worry. Anything else before we shut it down? All right. Going once, going twice. Thank you for joining us today on Disney Parks Talk Live. The show will be back next week. I hope I can watch it because I want to see how whoever replaces us does.
Is this the part where you press live? Because we're not live.
Yeah, I know. What's going to happen? Oh, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, well, I was going to say we should leave the studio and see if that.
Well, I'm putting this thing up for one thing.
So.
Bye, everyone.